character. I never saw that. Well, this is the shoot interview, if you will, where he first calls himself The Game. What'd you think of the name The Game?
Loved it. I thought it was great, and why I loved it, because it worked. It worked, Conrad, and that name stuck with him. It was a cool name. He wasn't overly gimmicky. I loved it. I thought it was great. He's such a student of the game, as we're saying today, in his leadership role.
It's all about the game, and how you play it. It's all about control, and if you can take it, it's all about your debt. And if you can play it, it's all about pain. And who's gonna make it? I am the game, you don't wanna play me. I am control, no way you can shake me. I am heavy debt, no way you can pay me. I am the pain, and I know you can't take me. Look over your shoulder, ready to run like a Cleveland bitch from a smoking gun. I am the game, and
sometimes you just got to give the devil his due. You got to give the game his due. And the Gamers are 5-0. That's right, folks. The Gamers are 5-0. And not only are they 5-0, but they have a commanding 150-point lead in the second place team, which is General Finkel. Just an unbelievable start for the Gamers. Just the game, you know, I'm just going to refer to the game as me. The game put the brand on the line. Comes out like a buzzsaw. Victorious B.I.G. I'm not going to do it for every team. But the Gamers are rolling. Everything they have done is turned to gold, pretty much. The Juwan Jennings move. Lamar Jackson's looking like the MVP he was last year. Jamar Chase is looking like the number one first round pick that he is. Derrick Henry is looking like Derrick Henry from 5 years ago. James Cook all of a sudden scoring touchdowns. George Kittle's the best tight end in football when he plays. Fantasy wise, I don't think there's much debate about that. David Montgomery has been pretty remarkable, and I think we can all agree certainly that Nico Collins is the best receiver in the NFL. No, but Nico Collins, wow. I mean, he's tweaked the hamstring. There's no telling how long he's going to be out. That obviously concerns me. But with the 5-0 cushion, the Gamers can't afford to drop a couple here. But it comes at a bad time because they have back-to-back division games against a team called Best and the Beards. Now, a team called Best is banged up, to say the least, and they have a lot of buys this week. So there's really no excuse for the Gamers to lose this one. A team called Best are going to be heavy dogs here going into hostile territory. I mean, you're playing without Aaron Jones on a bye. You're playing without Worthy for Kansas City, who's on a bye. You're playing Rice is hurt. Whittington, the wide receiver, who actually had like 12 done by. Austin Eckler, though, is not a bad feeling. I mean, he's been doing pretty decent. He's been doing a lot better than I thought he had. So, I mean, 10, 11, 15, 15, then he didn't play, then he got 13. So, he's been doing pretty good. Kenneth Walker the third has been amazing. So, by any means, Marvin Harrison's been awesome. I'm not taking this game lightly at all. Debo's been struggling. Josh Downs, who knows? That's a dart throw, because of Nico being hurt. I don't have any depth whatsoever. So that's going to kill me. I'm going to have Jackson and Henry and Chase and all those guys step up. And, the team called Best is going to have Robinson step up. And right now he's still got Waddle in, who's got a bye. Obviously he's going to pick up somebody here or make a trade to get a receiver. But, I can't imagine it's going to be anything too spectacular, about like Josh Downs probably. All right, so, I didn't want to come on here and just toot my own horn, but when you're 5-0 and just, this is by far the best start I've ever been off to, and this is by far the best team to this point I've ever had. I don't know how it's going to pan out. I might not win a game the rest of the season, but so far, so good on saving the brand. And 5-9 is not going to get us anywhere. So we've still got a lot of work to do. The Gamers beat the Beards, coming off a 100-point victory against Hunter Howell. I had to throw it in there, man. Sorry. 100.1. And the last time that happened was in 2021 when Amir beat Eric by 135. But the next 2 years, Eric won the championship. So maybe this is the spark Hunter needs to win the championship the next 2 years. Maybe this year, I don't know. But the Ditkas took care of the Beards in a heartbreaker for the Beards. Just an absolute heartbreaker. Came down to the very end. Alvin Kamara got just enough. And Olave, 2 points. 2 points. I mean, if he could have just got a decent game out of Olave, he wins. That's gotta sting. Gotta sting. He hits a home run with Kareem Hunt. All of a sudden, Thomas Jr. for the Jags, he's looking like a stud. Metcalf, boy, he struck out. I didn't realize that. But DJ Moore, DJ Moore is capable of putting up huge numbers, and he certainly did this week. But Joe Burrow with 42.17, wow. Leading all quarterbacks this week. And that includes Lamar Jackson, who dropped in 40. So that's pretty good stuff there from the Ditkas, who now are on the right side of the 5-game swing, the 3-2, 2-3. There's a big difference between 2-3, 3-2. You want 3-2, you want to be on that side of it. So Ditkas on the 3-2 side, Beards on the 2-3 side, and then we've got a team called Best. Same deal here, losing to the Navy, and just Aaron Jones suffering an injury. You got to believe if Aaron Jones doesn't get hurt, he probably wins this game, but he does. And Marvin Harrison puts up another stinker. Kenneth Walker did okay, but didn't have his the breakout of the season. Mark Andrews just with 7.5 just demolishing the usual tight end numbers from a team called Best, who has struggled mightily. C.J. Stroud, another ho-hum kind of game. Nico going out, I think, kind of hurt him. The Navy, Mahomes. The Chiefs, look, okay, real football, Mahomes is the man. And usually in fantasy he is. But this year in fantasy, he's not the man. And Pickens, Pickens would not start if he was on my team. And that includes Juwan Jennings and Downs and anybody else I could find. I just don't trust anybody on Pittsburgh's offense. Jalen Reed continues to impress. Keenan Allen, 4.8. That's why I dropped him. I just don't trust him. I mean, he might go on to do great things, but he's banged up. Stevenson, after a rumor and innuendo had him being benched, comes back with 89 yards and a touch for 17. Kyle Pitts erupts for 12.3. Hubbard continues his march of greatness with 13.5. So just a heartbreaker for Coach Smith here, as it was Mahomes and Worthy on Monday night, and just comes up 5 points short or 4 points short. And what this does is it puts the Navy at 3-2 on the right side of the equation, and it takes a team called Best all the way to 1-4. And this is not a 1-4 team on paper. And I'm not just saying that because he paid me. Look, this team is better than 1-4. I see a lot of comparisons with this team and Eric's team last year. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't rally the troops. The thing is they're staring 1-5 in the face, playing the Gamers this week, and I'm going to go ahead and jinx myself. But if they can find what they need, they've got to find a way to win that game. And Nico Collins getting hurt probably is about the best he could have hoped for, and he's just got to hope for some magic from his team and some, as Andrew would say, my team's due to lay an egg. So that would put him right back in things, or at least give him a chance. So I don't know. We'll see on that one. But that 1-4 does not, in my opinion, reflect the team that he has. Chicken and Tyson knock off, take care of business. They knock off Ride or Die, who's 0-5 now. I don't think Ride or Die's team is 0-5 on paper, but they certainly are not, world beaters by any means. But hey, Garrett Wilson proving me wrong, like making me eat my words. 101 receiving yards, 13 receptions, a touchdown, 25.6 points. Hey, good for him. Jacobs, good game. But a disappointment has been Rachaad White. I mean, I was huge on him coming in, but he has stunk. He has really been bad. And I'm going to look at his numbers just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure he's been pretty bad. It's 13, 2, 6, 9, and 8. So, yeah, that's not what you're expecting from him after the year he had last year. Jake Ferguson has been a pleasant surprise at tight end. Deontay Johnson's hit or miss. He missed this week. And, Chad has got some playmakers. He's got Tyreek Hill. And even without Tua, Tyreek Hill can be spectacular. Fields is a playmaker. Mike Evans, touchdown machine. Stephon Diggs, very interesting without Nico now. He's going to get fed more. I mean, that's going to be – his stock is going up quite a bit. DeAndre Swift, I did not see this one coming. Okay, DeAndre Swift in his last 2 games has scored 26 and 19. Give the guy a rock. I mean, my goodness. And they play Jacksonville next week in London. So, wow, that's pretty crazy. Jerome Ford, now that's something I did see coming. I paid $1,000 for him last year, and he was worth about 10 cents. So he's just not going to get you anywhere. I mean, he's going to get you anywhere from 7 to 15 points. That's it. That's just it. I guarantee it every time. Bowers, the tight end for the Raiders, man, what a steal for Coach Antley here. I mean, 8, 14, 5, 4, and 19. I mean, honestly, his numbers might be better than Kittle. Kittle's been more consistent. I don't know. It's close, but, I mean, you could argue him and Kittle have been the best 2 tight ends, I'd say. And then Ferguson's in there as well. I mean, tight ends are just hard to come by. I mean, all I hear about is how nobody can get a tight end, and they're very valuable this year if you can get one that's decent, because it gives you, a leg up. So a huge win, taking care of business for a Chicken Man, staying in it. And now Hunter is looking at he's 0-5, and just not. I mean, certainly stranger things have happened. I mean, we've seen people run the table to win the whole thing. We've seen people. I mean, but 9-5 now is the best he can hope for. So the odds are probably not going to happen. So. 7-7, maybe gets you in. 8-6, maybe gets you in. I don't know, but just all depends. But and then the last game, Finkel takes care. Finkel, who has very quietly is the second leading scorer in the league, at a very good 3-2 record, and it drops Mitch to 3-2. Both teams sitting in a very, very good position here. Ayuk finally has the game that we thought he would. Jefferson had a pretty good game. London coming through for Amir. Every time I start to bash these receivers, they start doing well. So I'm gonna try it this time with let's see. This guy Leggett for the Panthers, he sucks. 1 reception for 8 yards. So now he's going to go off next week. But Zach Moss got hurt. So despite outscoring Amir 20-0 on defense, Victorious B.I.G. does take the loss. But like I said, he's first place in the division, sitting at 3-2. Amir sitting at 3-2. Nothing to worry about there. Both teams looking solid. Before I talk about the previews, I want to look at the standings here. And by the way, I was having some technical issues trying to get the podcast out for last week, so I just decided to heck with it. It wasn't any good anyway. So this is what we have. We have the Gamers sitting at 5-0. 792 points scored. The second highest scoring team is Finkel at 636. 792 to 636. Ride or Die, the lowest scoring team, has 457. So, and I'm certainly not rubbing salt in anybody's wounds. I've been right where you are, Hunter. I know what it feels like, man. I haven't won a playoff game in 10 years. So, I just, taking this year by the throat. And so far we are. But in the Isaiah division, Finkel is at 3-2. And with their point total is actually 100 points higher than the Beards and almost 100 points higher than a team called Best. So realistically right now, the only competition the Gamers would even remotely have in that division is Finkel. And he has already knocked off Finkel once. So, it's way too early to be talking about winning divisions and whatnot, but the Gamers just could not be. I can't recall a better start than this, and I really can't. If somebody can, please let me know after 5 games, and I'm sure y'all will if you can. Victorious BIG is because of division record is sitting in second. He actually trails the Mambas and the Ditkas in points, not by much, but by a little bit. It's very, very close, very tight in the Rider division. Even Chicken of Tyson, who only has 479 points, is 2-3. So, 3-2 Victorious BIG in second, 2-3 Chicken Man. So that division is very much up for grabs. So a lot to be settled there, and I am just obviously excited, sky high excited for things that are going on. Just all kinds of endorsement deals that are getting signed, and don't think I forgot about them. But we'll go ahead and wrap it up with my predictions for next week. I'm not gonna bet. I'm not gonna. I told you I'm not gonna pick against myself. So I'm gonna pick Gamers to knock off a very scrappy, very resourceful team called Best Team. I expect Coach Smith to come up with a very crafty game plan, and there's just no telling what he might do. So, but we've got our ear to the ground. We'll be ready for you. We'll be ready for you, buddy. You can bank on that. In other action, sorry, I got a little sidetracked here. In other action, we got the Beards taking on Ride or Die. Obvious must win for Ride or Die if they want any chance to stay in this thing. And you can kind of say the same thing for the Beards to a lesser extent, but you don't want to go to 2-4. You really don't. You want to stay as close to 500 as you can. So a win. This is a get right game for the Beards. We'll see. Chicken of Tyson against Finkel. This game, if Chicken Man can pull this off, he's sitting right in the thick of it. And then that'll bring Finkel down to 3-3. But if Finkel wins it, he'll separate himself that much more and go to 4-2. And if the Gamers lose, he'll only be a game behind the Gamers. The Dick, I'm going to go with Finkel, however, in that one. And I'm going to go with Ride or Die to get his first win this week. Victorious BIG taking on the Dickas. I'm going to go with the Dickas. That's probably the game of the week right here. Second place team going up against the 5th place team, and then we have the 4th place team going up against the 6th place team, the Mambas against Vol Navy, and I'm going to go with the Mambas. The Navy, Mahomes is on bye. I don't know exactly what he's got up his sleeve. There's plenty of decent quarterbacks or even good quarterbacks sitting on waivers, so it's not going to be a big deal, I wouldn't think, because Mahomes hasn't exactly been lighting the world on fire. Neighbors and Smith should be back. ETN, I'm not sure. I think he's going to be okay. So, Mama's getting healthy, getting their people back. I expect to see them take care of business. And, be good to each other, guys. Tell your loved ones how you feel. And I enjoy doing this. And sometimes it's hard for me to think of what to say or get the motivation to do it, but I love it, man. I absolutely love it. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.